My name is Jen. I am Director of Marketing here at Mentor Collective. I'm really excited about today's event. We are here to talk about what's new and what's next on the product roadmap for Q2 2026. So, as we get started here today, just some quick housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded, and we will, of course, send you that recording in a follow-up email. On the screen, you'll see a few tips to help ensure a smooth virtual experience. We suggest that you adjust your video layout to speaker view so that you can follow along with the speaker as well as the slide deck as we get going. We'd also love to hear from everyone. So if you want to go ahead and drop in the chat your name and your organization, we'd love to see where you're calling in from. And you can also use that chat throughout the event. Instead of the Q&A, we'd love to just talk with you right in the chat. So submit your questions throughout the chat and we'll answer them as we go. Let's see who we've got here. Drop. All right, perfect. University of Illinois, Alabama and Huntsville. Lehigh, awesome. We have so many wonderful folks here. Keep dropping that in the chat. We love to see it. And Anamik, I'll introduce our wonderful Anamik Rice, Senior Vice President of Product Transformation at Mentor Collective, will be leading us through today's session. And we'll hear from her in just a sec. We're going to start with a poll here to better understand what your biggest strategic focus is at your institution and how our product roadmap might align with that. So let's launch that poll. You should have a poll right up on your screen. We'd love to hear what is on your mind as we're talking through our roadmap today. Is it launching mentorship? Is it expanding to new populations at your institution? Maybe scaling is on your mind. I see a couple answers there. Improving matching quality, making sure that your students are engaged, your program is measured. Maybe you're interested in AI or something else. If it's something else, go ahead and hit that button and then drop what that something else is in the second open response question. We have a lot of folks answering this. This is great. I'm seeing a lot of increased student engagement, measuring program impact, a good amount of scale. Give it a few more seconds here. All right. So we'll share those results so you can take a look and see. It looks like increasing student engagement is the top winner there, followed by measuring program impact. So something to think about as we're talking through the roadmap today. I'm sure Anamik will talk to those as we get started. And with that, Anamik, I will go ahead and pass it over to you to share the agenda for today's session.
Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you all for joining me today. All right, so let's jump in. And I want to add, I'm joining you today as the leader for our product team. But a lot of what I'm going to talk about today are customers, your success, and my own experience working with our customers in implementation and adoption and in higher education and education along the way. So all right, so first up, we're going to do a recap of some of our recent releases. I'm going to point out some of the iterations that we have coming out the door any minute now. We are going to give you the first look at the next big release from Mentor Collective, which you saw previewed, our program designer. This is an AI agent that will help you with program design. We'll talk again, as we have before, about our approach to AI, our approach to privacy, our approach to responsible technology to ensure that you understand how your data is being used and how you're engaging with our tooling. And then we'll do a sneak preview of what is going to come next time. And hopefully, if you've been attending these for the past few quarters, you're seeing us talk about what's coming, show you what's coming, what we've delivered the next time, move on to the next thing. So really important to us here as we're talking through this is your feedback along the way, your adoption and usage of these tools that we're releasing, and your engagement. So thank you for being here, and please keep the channels open. You can chat at any time with questions. as they come to mind. I'll also remind you at the end that you have a chance to ask me questions right now or to follow up with our team as we go. All right, so quick recap. We have been spending all of 2026 so far on this engagement cycle. So very nice to see how many of you are focused on student engagement right now. Um, as a reminder, we talked about why we were focusing on engagement the past few times we met. And it was that we really do need to go beyond introducing to folks to each other. We need to support them in having the most effective, fruitful, and deep, meaningful interaction as we can. We spent a lot of time analyzing data and trends in mentorship, asking actual participants what they needed, what their roadblocks were, et cetera, and releasing tools that help overcome them, including our Conversation Sparks tools in October of 2025. And then most recently, our scheduling feature. I want to let you know, you're the first to find out, that we are adding a couple enhancements to this tooling. So smart scheduling allows the two folks who are in a pair to kind of share and sync calendars. It will proactively identify times they're both available. We just added, we will be releasing shortly, the ability to add video conferencing links within those for quick video conferencing, which is a common thing, and also to add the location of meetings. That means that you will be able to see the locations of meetings. So you'll have more information about, are they meeting on video chat? Are they meeting in person? Are they doing a phone call? Like, what's the nature of the meetings that are taking place? And we're already starting to see these meeting scheduling happens on the back end. As a reminder, any meetings that get scheduled, you're able to see as well. Here's some of the feedback that we've gotten from you all. In addition to those feature requests that you see that we've spent some time on, we really have heard from our customers that you love the digital engagement, you love the ability for pairs to text, but you really want to make it as easy as possible for folks to meet face to face, and that this feature is definitely right up the alley in terms of making that happen. One of my favorite quotes from our customer conversations was, "You read my mind. That's exactly what I would have done." So we're really hoping that we see some great outcomes from the adoption of our participants in this tool. The other recent release we have is our major revamps to the way that conversations are logged and reflected on for participants. To remind you, we introduced gamification to drive users to these 3 conversation milestone that we know is supported in 4 decades of mentorship research as being kind of a good foundation point for highest outcomes. We provided them with thoughtful, reflective prompts to think about what was accomplished in that conversation and what's going to happen next. And we created a shared conversation stream between the folks who are in here. There will also be more coming within conversation logging as well as we go. And again, seeing our conversation logs up numbers go up and up every month after these releases. So where are we headed next? Oh, sorry, I should mention, we definitely continue to get great feedback from you all about this. How do we engage your participants? What are they expecting? A lot of great feedback on some of the choices we've made for folks to participants to see this as their data and their reflections, and to protect the privacy of their information in that, and that shared streamlined view for the mentee and the mentor. So we have some more that we'll be iterating on within the engagement cycle, like some nudging around, you just had a meeting, is it time for you to reflect on it? So expect us to continue to make tweaks and enhancements in here and to keep giving us feedback along the way. That being said, today we are talking about the next big area of release, and I want to pivot a little bit to you, the administrators, the customers, the leaders, the student ambassadors on campus who are driving mentorship forward. One of the biggest things that I hear over and over again from our customers and those who want to become customers is that they greatly value the research backing and experience backing that Mentor Collective has in the way we approach how to run a mentorship program, how we surface up the things that we learn from our customers to the rest of the community, the way we analyze and reflect on the data that we see to help everyone not just have a mentorship program, but to have a successful mentorship program, or if you're encountering challenges, to help you overcome those challenges. And Jen and I actually co-authored a publication a year-ish ago about what exactly does it look like to have what is it that's associated with the absolute best mentorship programs in the country or in the world. And it's this culture of mentorship element. It's not just offering a program, it's really doing it in this deeply embedded, ingrained way. And that means that mentorship is strategic, it's tied to goals. There are intentional choices about how mentorship is offered that reflect the participant-centered experience you want. Maybe you realize that you don't want mentorship to be exclusive, that you want it to be inclusive, that everyone can access mentorship. Maybe for you, it's that mentorship is mentee-led, and vice versa. That it's really visible, resourced, and also, I think really importantly, data-driven as well. So as we're talking about how to do this, a lot of this comes down to how do we consult with you? How do we advise you? How do we surface up a decade of information and learnings into every partner's experience so that you can benefit from that collective wisdom? And so we've written white papers and we've hosted webinars and we've written a lot of articles. And I don't know about you, but my inbox is full of a lot of things I'd like to read when I have the time, a lot of things I'd like to listen to when I have the time. And it can be really hard. A lot of people I want to get advice from. I wish I could spend all the time talking to my CSM about these things. And what we also hear from you is that you don't quite have that time anymore, that you are trying to do more with less, that you're trying to make the best decisions possible, and that you need to be able to work towards these strategic goals about student engagement, program metrics, et cetera, with limited resources. And all of this is what led us to identify a need for an on-demand consultant for you all. So taking these decade of experience, all of these institutions we've learned from, over 1,700 mentorship programs have been launched, assessed, managed within the Mentor Collective platform, which is over 500,000 mentorships. This is an unbelievable amount of data upon which AI can provide a wonderful amount of intelligence to help guide and influence some of the choices that we make. And our goal in doing this was to say, how do we take this extremely complex process of growing a mentorship program, launching a mentorship program, evolving a mentorship program, and do it with simplicity in mind? How do we make something with this many options and this many if-then statements into something that doesn't feel overwhelming for you? And so we are introducing to you all the Mentor Collective Program Designer. So as we're spending time trying to make this culture of mentorship real, we know we need to go beyond advice on demand, looking at an article or papers you could read. We know we need to make learnings and experiences part of the product itself, not just part of the service that you receive. So you are now able to meet your new AI consultant. This program designer will guide you through program mentorship, program launch or relaunch. Many of you are, launching this, iterating on your programs every year or adjusting how you run them. This program designer is available at your own pace, in your own time, and in a really great conversational format. So I know we've done a great job with things like workbooks and toolkits and things like this, but those are static. They don't adjust to what you say. This really provides you with a fantastic opportunity to interact with and learn from resources and advice that are tailored exactly to what you say and when you say it and what questions you have in real time. This AI agent, the program designer, is using a combination of two things: context from you, so your specific goals. Your CSM will actually preload some information into program designer based on what you've told us before, and also what you decide to tell it, but also the decade of data. So we've taken all of our educational materials, all of the data analysis we've run, all of the tools we have, like program recruitment calculators and things like this. And these things, plus your interactions with the agent, will result in an agent that is trained based on all of these best practices and your context as well. The other element of the agent that is extremely powerful is it will be able to look at your past program's performance and your past program's decisions. So it has history on what has happened in the past and what could happen, and advice on what could happen in the future. What this means is that no more looking for your notes from your last conversation, no more trying to find an old spreadsheet, no more looking at calendars, no more waiting for calendar times. Your programs will all have a centralized view in addition to an interface to come to choices. You will also be able to see all the decisions you made, or maybe you're new to the program, all the decisions that have been made. And this will all be at your fingertips at any time within the Mentor Collective application. All of this sounds great and technology is wonderful, but I just want to say this is additive to what the Mentor Collective team is able to offer you. So you have the agency to build your programs at the speed and time that you want with all of these best practices, but you also still have your customer onboarding manager or your customer success manager here to walk you through those things, to talk you through those things, to give you advice or to talk through some of the decisions you're stuck on. I'll talk a little bit about in the agent where you get to do that, where you get to skip things or say, I'm not sure, or come back to it later. But our team, in all cases, will review everything before launch and will also continue to talk with you in a consultative manner about your goals and outcomes and plans. So what this means is as you go through your program designer and chit chat with them about what you're trying to accomplish and what you want to call your programs and how many participants you want to involve, it will actually build the skeleton of a program. And then once that is reviewed and by humans, yourself and the CSM, it will create automatically a brand new program for you to run for the next year or the next iteration, or maybe you want to run an additional program for mentorship there this year for another set of populations. This is something that you can theoretically do within a couple days instead of many weeks or even many months in some cases. Before we jump into a demo of the program designer and I talk to you a little bit about some of my tips and advice and favorite things, just want to remind you, because we are talking about AI here, this is very much an AI tool. AI is the tool. The reason why we chose AI as the solution here was because of how much expertise documentation we had, and also how much personalization we knew that each of our customers benefited from. And AI is a great tool for doing that, for allowing you to not have to scroll through 300 articles of help text and figure out what matters to you, but rather to get personalized advice. As with all of our tooling, your data security and privacy is paramount. All of your data is handled in the exact same ways it always has been, whether it was a call you had with us or a workbook you sent us, etc. None of the data that you provide to the agent is shared with any external companies or external training models. They are just used to make your use of the agent and the overall agent's effectiveness better as well. It's never exposed to someone outside of your institution. And then this is all about enhancing human connections. This is about not having to be overwhelmed with having to have 5 meetings to go through some basic things, not having to fill out workbooks, but really being able to have the most strategic conversations you can with us and with each other at your institution. All right, let's jump into it. I am going to launch this wonderful demo of our program designer. Let's get started.
Today, I'm excited to introduce Program Designer. Program Designer is a conversational AI agent that guides you step by step through creating a custom mentorship program. Let's take a look at how it works. When you're ready to design your first or next program, you'll find Program Designer right in your dashboard. Navigate to your profile settings and click on Admin Center. Click on Go to Program Designer, and you'll be directed to your dashboard. This page will show all programs that you are connected to. Let's work on our first year program and click Go to Agent. Click Start a new session, and you'll be introduced to Program Designer with instructions on how to best use and interact with the agent. You can chat back and forth, ask for best practices, skip questions, and flag topics that need further discussion. If you're creating a brand new program, you may see a question like this. The agent wants us to think about our program branding and specifically what our program name will be. It provides some guidance and examples in the chat and also links to additional resources. Many resources will bring you to our Partner Knowledge Center. Program Designer is trained on these materials, covering product details, configurations, and proven best practices. Now, for programs that are relaunching for a new year or program cycle, you'll see a few differences. You can see here that there are decisions already populated on the left sidebar. This is because Program Designer carries over all decisions from the previous program. This streamlines the design process, as past selections are grouped into sections, like the participants section seen here, and you can quickly review and update multiple decisions at once, rather than being asked field by field. Program Designer may also provide suggestions based on your program's history and past performance. If you'd rather not use the agent and would prefer to review all previous decisions as a single list, you have two alternative methods. First, on the decision sidebar, you can scroll through and directly edit any field you'd like to change. Or you can navigate to design history and do the same there. Once you've completed your new or relaunching program design, you'll be walked through your next steps, which include reviewing your choices, submitting them for review, and discussing your flagged topics with your mentor collective representative. Let's take that first step and navigate to design history. Here's where you can review your program summary. If all looks good, click on Submit Design Decisions for review. Your program will then be under review. At this time, your dedicated mentor collective representative will check over your design and discuss any flagged topics with you. Once everything is finalized, they will let you know that your program is ready to launch. And that's a look at Program Designer, designing mentorship on your terms.
All right. Some of my own favorite things about the Program Designer, just for context for you all. One of the great secret sauces about the Mentor Collective team here is obviously the context we have on your history, the comparisons to benchmarks. So as you're chatting with Program Designer, you can say things like, I'm thinking of switching to a paid mentor model. I'm not sure what kind of ratios I should be going for here. Can you work up two scenarios from, the ability to say, give me specific advice based on my specific scenarios, or even say, I'm unsure about this. What should I be considering is embedded in there. So if you think of that as a great way to prep for conversation with us, it really should allow you to have a fantastic experience talking through with your CSM, kind of the pros and cons. And then again, as you saw, it's flagging topics as you go that you definitely want to discuss with someone before you finalize those decisions. And you're really able to come to the table with a good understanding of what those choices might be. There are some tips, as our CS team has been testing this application prior to release to our partners. There are some tips that they've prepared for you. Like if you want to sit down and get this done in 30 minutes, start to finish. These are some of the things that you might want to think about before you do so. But I will remind you, you can pause and come back to it anytime. You can skip ahead, you can revise, you can change your mind about things as you go. So these are just depending on kind of your own approach and whether you're looking for efficiency or exploration, there should be a path for you to meet your needs. We do already have lots of iterations to the Program Designer agent planned. So as you are going in and working on this, which I think some of our customers already are, we had quite a few customers and part of kind of like our beta feedback elements. Please share your thoughts and ideas, what you like, what you wish was different, where you struggled, so that we can continue to iterate this as a good tool for all of you. As we were walking through the demo, you probably noticed a new section called Admin Center, and it was a blank page so far. So as of today, the only thing you'll see in our new Admin Center is the Program Designer agent and the ability to look at your program design review page. But where we are headed next, when we just harken back to that culture of mentorship element, is a huge part of a good culture of mentorship is when the mentorship program itself is well resourced. And resource doesn't just mean that you pay a license fee to Mentor Collective or that you have a budget for cute swag for the participants. It also means that the people who are championing running that program have the skills, knowledge, and support they need to be effective. And so we think a lot about what the program managers who use Mentor Collective tools ask for, what they need, what their pain points are, and how we can devise product solutions to some of your problems. And so having a really well-resourced, supported person we've been looking a lot at that list of things. And some of the things that folks ask us for all the time are, I really just need a simple one-page view of what's happening with my program. I want to be able to get my hands on certain things easily and quickly. So coming soon, you will see a new program management page that will allow you to see the URL codes, kind of the program launch registration URLs for your mentors and mentees, to toggle that on and off yourself in real time, as opposed to waiting for us to toggle those things on and off for you, and to quickly grab a QR code that is pre-generated for mentee and mentor registration. So this is something you can grab on the fly. You can get it at the end of a meeting. You can turn it on as soon as you're ready to go. You'll also see the ability to upload your invitation lists of participants that you want to invite right here. And coming soon, you will also see, beyond those uploads, the ability to look at which people have access to your dashboard. We will be continuing to build out more and more tools into the administrator and program management pages of the Mentor Collective application, these totally new um, essentially program management and administrative tools. So we hope that you will also let us know what's the next thing you'd love to be able to see or get your hands on as a Mentor Collective program admin or say admin. And then lastly, I just want to recap one recent release that we've actually heard from quite a few of you. There's so many new things coming out. It's hard for me to keep up. I have so many emails. So we're going to do our best to keep these communications as streamlined as possible, while also not letting you miss out on things that the product is capable of doing. We also recently released a great feature to match by institutional data. This means the data that you provide to us to integrate into the platform, so student information system data, can now be used as the matching criterion. So you can say, for students who are listed as first generation in our SIS, please match them with another person who also says is listed as first generation in our SIS. This allows you to send to have a lighter weight matching survey, to not necessarily ask questions you already know the answers to, and also to continue to integrate those data into your reporting elements as well. So if you are in program launch phase right now, you will get to use the program designer, you will get to take advantage of matching by institution provided data, and you'll get to take advantage of some of these easy registration links and QR codes. We know that everyone is essentially in close to program launch season. This is a very typical time of year where people are thinking about the next iterations of the programs. And so we have been working hard to get all of these tools ready for you in time for your program cycles. I'm going to pause here, Jen, to see if we have any questions come in on the chat before we conclude with our polls. Anything about, any questions about the functionality that I can answer before we move on?
Yeah, we haven't had any questions come
Okay.
in just yet, but folks feel free to use the chat, or even to elevate questions later. If you think of something later and you want to bring it up, we're happy to answer them. I'll drop our, oh, actually, here's a good one. Is this live now?
Yes, it is. Why don't you open the poll, Jen, and because we'd love some feedback from everyone. And as we have that open, I will share a couple, don't worry if you missed it, follow-up questions. This webinar is recorded and everyone gets a recording, but also we have a really fantastic team here who create helpful materials for you. So there is a walkthrough of the program designer on our Partner Knowledge Center. There are release notes that you should all have received that have this information, that helpful, step by step how to use this article is present. All of your CSMs are educated on how to use this and how to work with you. So this is live. This was live last week, and available for use now. In order to start a program design, your CSM does need to turn it on for you. They need to know that you want to start a program design and essentially assign it to you. So as always, your first step is to communicate with your CSM about your plans, and then they'll get you oriented and get started.
Great. And we have a lot of folks who are really excited about the direction of the product roadmap, and some folks who are interested in continuing the conversation. So thank you for replying there. I have one more question here on Amik. How do I know who my CSM is?
Jenna, I can let you know if you don't know that name already. We can we'll send you a note offline and connect you with the right person here if you want to redirect. That is one of the new things that will come in the admin center. At some point, you'll actually see the name and contact information of your CSM as well within the product. So it's a good feedback feature request right in the chat there. Anyone else has one, you feel free to drop it in.
Great. All right, we can wrap up the poll here and we can head to the next slide. As we are closing out, we want to remind you of a couple upcoming events that we have on the calendar here. At the end of April, we have another webinar, Mentorship for All, How Leading Institutions Embed Mentorship Across the Student Journey. We're really excited about this opportunity. We'll be featuring some stories from Florida Atlantic University and from Dr. Darbo at Penn State Altoona. So very excited about that. I'll drop the link for to register for that in the chat as well here. There we go. And then in May, you'll find us at the symposium in Arkansas, the 1890 Center of Excellence, Student Success and Workforce Development. Very thrilled to be going there. And then in July, you can find us at Horizons in Washington, D.C. So busy calendar ahead. Stay tuned. You can also always check out what's coming up for folks on the Partner Knowledge Center. Right on the homepage, our calendar of upcoming webinars will be there as well. With that, we are wrapping up here. I have one last poll for folks. I am interested in how valuable you found this webinar opportunity. And oops, here we go. Let's go back here. And what we can do next with these educational opportunities. Annemiek, thank you so much for providing all of this information. It's very exciting. And folks, thank you so much for your time and for joining. We are thrilled to talk to you more about Program Designer and all the great things that we have here to offer for you.